Hello there, this is Michelle. Thank you for joining me today for this process video using the January limited edition kit from my creative scrapbook. Now this kit is full of Simple Stories vintage fresh snow collection, which I absolutely love. I love the navies in particular, as well as these gorgeous white flowers that you see on that navy strip. And so my idea for this layout is, as you see here, these three long horizontal tags going across the layout. And so I'm going to kind of stagger them, stack them a little bit. And that is going to be the main focus of my page. Now I am going to do just a little bit of mixed media on this as well. So I am using white Vicky Bouton foundations paper as my base. So I'm using this picture of this vanilla latte that I had, I believe we were over in Port Townsend maybe when I took this picture, but it just says winter to me. And so I thought that would be a fun picture to use with this. This collection has a bunch of mugs that's hot cocoa, but artistic license. And so I'm going to go ahead and use this picture for this layout. So this kit also comes with these gorgeous white and blue flowers. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use that on this layout. And then this stencil is what I'm going to use to create just a little bit of texture down at the bottom left. And so I am using scorched timber and rustic wilderness, primarily, first of all, in order to get a little bit of color down, I'm going to spray it with some water to get it to move and blend just a little bit. And I believe I used some vintage photo in there as well. So once I am feeling good about that, I'm going to go ahead and lift my stencil, and I am going to let it dry, and then I'm going to use this little Tim Holtz texture stamp just to add some white texture paste over the top of it. And I think I'm getting towards the end of my Tim Holtz texture paste. I'm going to have to pick some more up. But yeah, so I like how that looks, and I am going to go ahead and I cut down my white foundation paper and am going to go ahead and back it onto this snowflake navy paper. I'm just using a little tool there to help me make sure that I have it somewhat centered. And then let's take a look at how the tag strips look with what I have going on so far. And then I'm going to figure out exactly how I want those staggered, and then I'm going to cut the ends off of there to the left. All right, and so, pardon me, I'm just going to have a little bit of sip of something because I can feel my voice kind of going. All right, so let's see, I'm going to go ahead and start adhering, and I just love this Simple Stories. The paper down at the bottom is so vintagey looking. And so you also get bits and pieces with the kit. And so I struggle a little bit with where I want my embellishment clusters. And so I keep putting things to the left of the photo just to try it out a little bit. But you'll see I resist. I was pretty determined from the beginning just to have everything have the photo be the first thing that you kind of see with your eye as you go across, and then to have the embellishments to the right. Now I have my, I think it's Okie Dokie Shimmers paints. I just wanted the yellows in the flowers are beautiful, but I wanted it to be um, a little more blue. And so I go ahead and paint the centers of those flowers. And I also paint some of the leaves just so it is more of the color that I was kind of envisioning for this layout. So I had a background dye in my stash that I decided, okay, that's going to help me make the picture feel more of the centerpiece of the photo. And so I go ahead and add that to my matting layer there. And then I am going to take a look at how I want to build my cluster there to the right. And so I am going to use a bit of the beautiful little pine uh, um, embellishments that come in the kit. And that winter is what I'm going to go with for my title. I might audition a few other things, but I do stick with that winter. I'm going to add some tags and tickets underneath it just to build a little bit more layers and create a transition for my embellishment clusters there. And I am going to, I should say I did a lot of my inking my edges with the scorched timber, and I am using a lot of foam tape on the upper parts of my embellishment clusters, but I am just using regular tape runner on the bottoms just so that it creates some dimension without adding more bulk than I need. So these are some of the flowers I am going with, the blue one and the white one. I do add some of the smaller ivory flowers as well. I go ahead and I've tied off my tags with some just cream twine, and then I am going to go ahead and twirl a lot of the uh, stems that my flowers are on. See, I look at this winter, but it just kind of fades right in. And so I do stick with that other one that kind of stands out a little bit more. One thing that I really love about simple stories or vintage lines is they almost always have a page of tickets so you can cut out what you need. So I've used quite a few of those. And then I've added those mugs that I mentioned earlier. Just warm and cozy. That is what this line is all about. And so I am taking a look at some of the other embellishments. Now, a lot of the smaller embellishments, the hearts, some of the snowflakes, at the very beginning, as soon as I got my kit, I covered the hearts with glossy accents, and I took a shimmer pen to a lot of the snowflakes and such that were in the kit. Just so that it adds just a little bit more interest when you're looking at the layout. And so I've decided I'm going to stick with those mugs, and so I'm going to go ahead and attach those, and I'm going to go ahead and make a decision. There it is. And I think, oh yeah, so I love these little pine cones as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of those. And I don't know about you guys, but when I get my kit, I do go through and I separate out all of my pieces. So I kind of have a method to the madness. So I tend to separate out all of my small pieces. And you'll see here, I'm going through a lot of the small pieces, the hearts and the snowflakes. And I don't believe I stick with the snowflakes. I think I stick with the hearts. So I go ahead and I separate out all of my small pieces. Then I separate out all my icons. So that would be like the mugs, the lanterns, um, that type of thing. And then I separate out all my florals. So I would include like the pine cones and foliage with my florals. And then I separate out all my words and title strips. And that just helps me kind of keep a method to the madness. And so for my adhesives and such, I tend to use, I have the My Sweet Petunia Precision Press, so you'll see me use that quite a bit. And then for my flowers and such, I typically always use the Tim Holtz collage medium. And so that is pretty much what I rely on. I also have my ATG gun for tape runners. So those are my tried and trues. And so I add this Wonderland here, and it might even be on there till the very end. And then I realize I'm going to use on one of the other layouts, we have a cut file that's Winter Wonderland, and I didn't want to have the same title on two different layouts. And so that will change in the final to It's a Marshmallow World, which I also thought was very cute. So I'm going to add some of those white flowers. Now, the white flowers, I have taken the hard center out and then just really kind of scrunch them together so they still have some bulk, but they don't have that hard center. I just was not into that for this layout. So feel free to make the flowers what you need them to be for your layout. They're just like you would cut paper or cut embellishment in half or whatever. Do what you need to do. All right, and so I am getting actually kind of close to the end. I am taking a look at a few final word phrases. So I want to add, and I move these around quite a few times. Decision paralysis here. And so, but I use these two green phrases and I end up just using them together down at the bottom right because I wanted to draw your eye to the mixed media. And so that Cozy Nights and Cabin Fever are going to end up down there below. And then my final step is splatters. So I have already done some splatters with, I believe it was Uncharted Mariner, maybe. But I'm also going to add some white. So thank you for joining me today. Pick up this kit. It is gorgeous. And if you enjoyed the content, please like or subscribe. Have a great day, and I will see you on the next video.